Hello, my name is Kavin Catastrophe, and I'm here to talk about the secret hidden story in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. And this video will be focusing on Vanessa and Vanny. While the story of Security Breach may be confusing, Steelwool Studios and Scott Cawthon have actually given us clues throughout the last few years to solve the story of this game, and I have finally figured it out, and is making this video to inform the community of what I've learned. Actually, I've learned so much that one video won't be enough to explain everything, so I will be breaking these stories into parts. So this is part 1 of a bunch of videos that will be coming out soon. Most of this video will be using the Five Nights at Freddy special delivery emails. What is the special delivery, you ask? There's a mobile game called Five Nights at Freddy Special Delivery, or Fnaf AR for short, where you are a subscriber to Fazebear Entertainment Funtime Service, where animatronics are delivered to your house, which was supposed to entertain you, but due to a glitch, tries to kill you instead. I would cancel my subscription, but unfortunately I got the Eternal package, which means I guess this is my life now. Throughout the months of this mobile game's release, you accidentally receive emails from Fazebear Entertainment that clearly was not meant for the players to see, and they clearly asked us not to read it. So of course, being the respectable customers that we are, absolutely read everything, and this is where the emails I will be referring to in this video comes from. Now, if you were planning to play the mobile game just to fact check these emails, unfortunately they decided to be very realistic with these emails, and after some time actually deleted them as it was sent to us by accident. Now that's what I call commitment to a story. But luckily, the Fnaf community did manage to catalog all the emails that you can find on the internet, and I will leave a link to the website that I'm using in the description below if you guys want to read them yourselves. So before we begin my theory, I need you guys to be in the same mindset as me and believe that Tape Girl from Help Wanted, who has left 16 tape logs for the player to find and listen to, is Vanessa from Security Breach.
Hello? Can you hear me? Don't exit this room, okay? This isn't a mistake. This room isn't a mistake. I had to hide these logs away from the core gameplay files, in a place that only a beta tester would look, and in a place where the files can be protected. I just really hope that the next development team finds this before the game is released to the public. This game has some kind of malicious code in it that we haven't been able to fully contain or even understand, for that matter. We're over budget and out of time. But that's not the reason that we're shutting down. Listen, I have to keep this short, so the file size will be small enough to fly under the radar. There are more. They may not be in order.
And that Vanny from Security Breach is the player character, aka beta tester from Help Wanted, and is also Client 46 from the therapy session tapes. Throughout the video I will be bringing up clues as to why that is, but for now I hope you enjoy. Now let's get into my first theory of the video, the Fnaf AR special delivery emails, titled System Glitch. We know that the Fnaf AR email tells a story here, but combined with the information from both the Help Wanted game and the Security Breach game, we are able to finally piece together what's going on in these emails. In fact, we can even pinpoint the timeline when certain events takes place. This whole conversation is set up to make it look like Vanessa has tricked the new game developer team into giving access into their systems to capture a virus, but later hack into their systems. System glitch. Hey guys, I just got kicked off the systems. I finished scanning the last set of circuit boards Dan bought me, but now I've locked out. Is anyone else getting this unknown error? Virus detected. Turns out that wasn't a glitch. We released a virus when we scanned the last circuit board. It's spreading really fast. We're going to need all hands on deck. Fazebear Entertainment Response Team. Hi Steve, I'm with Fazebear Entertainment Tech Support. Jim filled me in on your concerns about a virus and asked me to take a look at your systems. If you can give me access, I will get started ASAP. Thanks, from VA. Senior Technical Support Representative. Hey everybody, Fazebear finally got back to me. Their rep wants system access to assess the issue. My contract is Jim Campbell, but I didn't get a heads up from him about this. So I want to double check the credentials, given the whole virus situation. Credentials checked out. This email is from Fazebear Tech Support. Hi, great to hear from you. It sounds like Jim filled you in. We've been fending this thing off, but so far we haven't been able to get rid of it. Anything you can do to help would be great. Steve, what is this? Mark, check the credentials. It's legit. It's better than legit. VA got the virus isolated in one location now. Not sure why they're letting it linger in one spot rather than just wiping it out, but whatever, it's out of our systems. Guys, we are officially clear. The virus is 100% out of our systems. Vanessa, I guess you're not coming in today, which is too bad. Not just because you brightened up the office, but because I really needed to talk to you. I didn't want to put this in writing, but over the weekend, did you happen to create an IT department email for yourself and use company's credentials to reach out to a subcontractor and access their systems? I know that sounds crazy. I mean, why would you even do that? It's just that it really looks like you did it. I'm sure it's a misunderstanding or a glitch or something. Just get back to me as soon as you can, okay? An unknown user just sent a command. Somebody's using our system to get commands to active animatronics. Somebody just turned off all of the safety features. I can't turn them back on. Waha, you said all the traces of the virus was gone. All traces are gone. I just checked again. Are we sure VA from Fazebear isn't still accessing the systems? I can't tell. I just lost admin access. Catastrophic system failure. Jim, I just tried to call you. Please call me back. This is urgent. So, let me break down what just happened here at the beginning, because it's very confusing and that's the point. Our golden girl Vanessa is really looking like the villain here, but
there is more going on here than you realize.
Like I said, Tape Girl is Vanessa, but these emails lead us to believe that she's not, because Tape Girl works for a game company called Silver Parcel Games, and these emails suggest that Vanessa works for Fazebear's IT department. But this is where the genius in Steel's writing comes into play. Throughout Tape Girl's logs, we learn of a small game company called Silver Parcel Games. They was hired by Fazebear Entertainment to help develop their Freddy Fazbear virtual reality game. To save money and time, Fazebear sent them some old circuit boards and technologies from old decommissioned animatronics. These decommissioned animatronics are presumably believed to be from Five Nights at Freddy's 6 Pizzeria Simulator. After they scan the old circuit boards, something goes wrong with the playtester named Jeremy. He starts acting weird and erratic.
The drawers have been emptied out. Someone was here. I don't think it was spring cleaning either. No, there was plastic on the floor. Someone was definitely here during the night. It had to have been the client. I mean, they sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation, told us to scan it, said it would expedite the process so we wouldn't need to program any pathfinding ourselves. It was a budget thing, I guess. It was just junk. Circuit boards and things like that. Looked pretty old. Somehow though, there was usable code on some of it. It seemed to take hold by itself. Things started changing. But then, he started appearing. At least that's what Jeremy said.
He tries to warn his boss that he saw something and that he's been having severe nightmares. Eventually, he kills himself using a paper slicer to cut up his own face. Tape Girl takes over Jeremy's job and she begins to see what Jeremy has been dealing with this entire time. Some kind of virus. No, some kind of anomaly. She decided to create these logs to better keep track of this thing.
I saw it for the first time today. There was a character I couldn't make out who it was, standing at the end of the hall. I thought it was just bugged out, so I made a note of it and kept playing. But then it was looking in the window, and not like Chica or Bonnie would. It was like it was actually looking in the window, seeing what I was doing.
Since the manager is aware that Jeremy started acting weird because of Fazebear's old circuit board scan, Silver Parcel Games tries to sue Fazebear Entertainment, but Fazebear responded with buying out their small company, completely meaning that all employees, including Tape Girl, aka Vanessa, who works at Silver Parcel Studios, now works for Fazebear.
I heard a pretty heated conversation this morning between Dale, our manager, and someone else on the line. It really feels like this project is in trouble, in no small part because of the lawsuit, I'm sure. There has to be a lawsuit, there's no way there isn't. It happened in this building just a few doors down from me. I think it's made worse by the fact that Jeremy tried to tell us something was wrong. But as a dev team, we all just saw it as a challenge to find what the problem was and fix it. Who could have known that? I have to go. I was told I had 3 days to finish Jeremy's work, but I know it's just passing the time. They don't really expect me to do anything. It's just to keep up appearances until the buyout is complete. We have to look like we have things under control. There's another potential development studio that wants to pick up from here, but who knows what kind of lies they're being fed to convince them to do it. Against my better judgment, I'm going to do my best to see what's here, make notes of it, and try to isolate where this thing is hiding. At least then, the next person that tests this will have a chance of getting rid of it.
We also learned that Fazebear would be getting a brand new game developer to take over the project to continue the VR game. Before Tape Girl leaves, she noticed that the virus has basically disappeared from their systems and attached itself to her own logs, giving it a safe place to hide.
Today was my last day of beta testing, and the anomaly that I've been seeing is nowhere to be found. But after inspecting some of the files, it seems that it's attached itself to these logs. My logs. That can't be an accident. So now I have to make a choice. Do I leave these logs here for you to find, or do I try to purge this thing myself by destroying the logs? I've chosen the latter.
So, what does this mean? While the new game company tries to fight this virus off from their virtual reality game system, they won't be able to beat it because the source of the virus has transferred to a new location, Tape Girl, aka Vanessa's logs, that she made using her account. Vanessa decides to take the logs with her to try and delete it, but unfortunately she can't. But something even more strange starts happening here. Her new Fazebear account on her computer starts getting weird searches. Lewis from Fazebear's IT department brings this up. Hey Ness, I hope you're having a good day. It's no big deal, but I wanted to reach out off the radar and remind you about the company policies about personal internet usage. Nobody cares if you're online shopping, as long as you get your work done. I promise, I've done my share of last-minute gift buying. But certain words and phrases triggered red flag reports, so your last order got automatically sent to me. Basically, anything mentioning torture is going to raise the alarm. So although the Viking Blood Eagle 12th month calendar you ordered is very cool, the searches that got you there did trigger a red flag. If you have any questions about the policy, let me know. We could get coffee or something and go over all the words to avoid. And now I've raised my own red flag. Good thing I'm the one who gets the notifications. Lewis. Hey Ness, just a quick FYI, I know I mentioned triggered words, but the AI is actually a little bit more sophisticated than that, and of course there are people like me watching the system too. So the word compliance by itself isn't going to set off any red flags, but the sentence, how to induce compliance in human subjects, and how to induce self-compliance did actually get my attention. I think the answer might involve chocolate chip cookies, always works on me. I also thought it was strange that these were immediately followed by searches that couldn't possibly have any relevant answers for you. Did you search for a help by itself? Anyway, my offer still stands. If you want to go over the company policy, I'm free any day after work. We can grab dinner or coffee if you want. In the meantime, you might want to do some of your more interesting research at home. Lewis. Hey Ness, I wanted to see if you're doing okay. I appreciate you taking my advice about red flag search terms. If I thought I have to file an incident report on you, I think I just have to quit instead. So my student loans, thank you. I do have to keep checking online activity periodically after getting a red flag report, and I was a little worried maybe something is going on with you. One day you're researching flowers and the migration pattern of bees. Fascinating, right? And the next day you type in, how far can a human being be cut in half before losing consciousness? I figured maybe you're writing a screenplay or something, but it was a little startling to see it written out. I hope you know I'm always here for you if you need me. Lewis. So let's go over what these red flags represents, because Steelwool really wants us to pay attention to them. The first one is the word torture, which leads to buying Viking Blood Eagle calendar. Blood Eagle torture is a real form of torture and execution dated back to the Skaldic literature. In most cases, this form of execution was used in retaliation for the death of a father figure, often as an offering to Odin, a god associated closely with the both of death and healing. The second red flag is how to induce compliance in human subject, meaning that something wants a human subject to comply with its demands. The third one, how to induce self-compliance, is actually a little tricky. Basically, this thing wants to learn some techniques on how to make someone who refuses your offer into making them believe they are in control, but in the end, still find a way to make them comply. And the fourth one, how far can a human being be cut in half before losing consciousness, sounds more like a question for Vanessa if you read it in a different way, as if it's asking her, do you want to find out? So this is actually pretty freaky. If you guys don't know what's going on here yet, this virus, this anomaly, which is attached itself to Tape Girl's aka Vanessa's log, is trying to communicate to Vanessa, trying to learn ways to make her comply with its demands, demanding her to help it, even going as far as learning blood ego ritual to make her get what it wants, and asking her how far can she be cut in half without losing consciousness. We can also tell that this virus is purposely using red flags to get Vanessa and Fazebear IT department's attention, because no one is really going to look at their search history, but if you are using a company's account, obviously they would pay attention to those things and let the person in question know about it. This virus is truly quite intelligent. Hey Ness, I hope things are good. I saw you ordered 3 lifelike human male rubber masks, and I was dying to ask what they're for. Was my screenplay guess right? Are you making a movie or putting together some kind of performance? Everything's the same as usual with me, but I guess you know that. You see me every day at work. Maybe one day soon we can get together and get coffee. Lewis. Not only is this virus able to communicate to Vanessa using her search history, but he's now threatening her. How? The 3 human rubber male skin masks represents what this virus did to Jeremy.
There was something that looked like a Halloween mask laying on the floor. I didn't understand. Ink must have spilled. It was only then that I heard a shuffle from the testing room and realized Jeremy must be there. I went back and peered in the window. I couldn't see his face. He had the visor covering his head. He had ink spilled on himself as well. The front of his shirt looked black in the dark room. He turned his head in my direction, but I don't think he knew I was there. Have you ever heard of a guillotine paper slicer? It sounds made up, but it's an actual piece of office equipment. I didn't even know we had one in the supply room. I guess they're more common at businesses that do a lot of graphic design work. I remember seeing one when I was still in school, and even then, I knew how dangerous it looked. I was always afraid of losing a finger. That seems so silly now. Jeremy used to do design work. I guess that's how he knew it was there.
Basically, it is saying that he will do the exact same thing to her. And while we are here, one thing I want to point to attention here is that the virus specifically ordered 3 human male skin masks. If these are supposed to represent what he did to Jeremy, why order 3? Basically, this virus is saying that Jeremy wasn't his first victim. While we don't know who the other 2 victims are, we might have been given a hint in who one of them was. It is kind of weird that Fazebear Entertainment would allow someone to come in the middle of the night to drop off some stuff with no explanation. I mean, scanning old animatronic circuit boards just to speed up your virtual reality game really doesn't make much sense. And Vanessa had mistaken Jeremy's cut up face for a Halloween mask. Perhaps that plastic on the floor she saw was also a piece of a man's face who sent them those circuit boards. If this is true, then that means this virus forced this man to plant the circuit boards there for Silver Parcel Studios to scan. But that's just a side theory. Let's get back. The last big red flag is so severe that even Lewis starts freaking out. Hey Ness, I'm probably overstepping here, but I feel like I might be the only one in the position to know something's wrong. Because Ness, something really is wrong. You're amazing, I hope you know that. Anybody would be lucky just to know you, and I was willing to believe that you were writing a screenplay or interested in history, maybe the book about human dissection and the anatomical models of organs because you're thinking about going to medical school. People have all kinds of interests, right? But when you're actually ordering thumb screws and having them delivered to the office, that just seems like a cry for help. It's like there's 2 sides of you, and I get that. I feel like that too. Some days I'm unstoppable, and some days I'm just stopped. There's the bright, happy side of you that order cupcake cookbooks and rainbow hair extensions and that glittery pink journal with all the pictures of puppies, and that's great. But then there's that side of you that ordered chocolate and flowers for yourself and pretended that they were from your boyfriend Brad. I'm not judging you for being lonely. I definitely understand where you're coming from there. But Ness, I also saw that you had written on the card, flowers for your grave? Why would you have an imaginary boyfriend who's threatening to kill you? You know that's not healthy, right? If you want to talk about anything, please call me or write back or just tap me on the shoulder at work. I might not understand exactly what you're going through, but I've been through some tough times on my own, and what got me through was letting people in, not shutting them out. I'm here for you, Ness. I really am. All you have to do is ask. Yours, Lewis. Lewis recollects himself in the next email, but having thumb screws and a boyfriend called Brad sending her flowers for her grave while using her account is once again this thing threatening Vanessa's life. Essentially, this anomaly, this virus, is messing with Vanessa's life. And what's worse, and truly unforgivable, is that it's wasting her money. Do you know how cheap Fazebear Entertainment pays their employees? It's evil. So if you guys aren't already freaking out right now, imagine how Vanessa feels. She needs to put a stop to this thing. This isn't a virus anymore. It's a monster, a killer, a murderer, and her life is now in danger. Tape Girl, aka Vanessa, decides to play a risky game. Now, keep in mind, while she does work for Fazebear now, Vanessa is not part of the IT department. How do we know this? In one of the therapy session tapes, in Security Breach, she admits it herself.
What you might not know is that this person who's been sending you messages has been hacking into your personal files too. These are the same files I have here. These files are full of details about your life. Do you know what that means?
I'm not in the tech department. I just type on the computers.
I know that.
So, what is Vanessa's actual new job in Fazebear? Well, it's actually the same job she had at Silver Parcel Games. She's in security, and we find this out by reading more of the Fnaf AR emails. Fazebear Entertainment, 3rd floor, birthday list, Vanessa A, 23 years old, security, bunny shape. And just to let you know, the bunny shaped gift is another attempt at this virus taunting her, because he essentially changed it her birthday cake wish. This thing has quite the sense of humor. It didn't even specify what type of flavor, it just says make sure it's bunny shaped, but her being in security is kind of vague. So what type of security? Well, login security, and we learned this from the emails as well. So we essentially learned that her job at Silver Parcel Studios wasn't just a player tester, but she was also their login security, which explains why Tape Girl's first act to try and fight this anomaly was to make logs about it, because that's what she excels at. But wait, you're probably saying, I thought she was just a player tester. Yes, but only after Jeremy took his own life, meaning that Silver Parcel Games was so small, so understaffed, that they got employees from different positions to do others' works. No wonder these guys was bought out by Fazebear. They are that small.
Jeremy complained of nightmares when he came in this morning. He wasn't talking about it like someone telling a friend about his dreams though. He was pale. Looked like he had an evening daze. He spent an hour talking in Dale's office, but it didn't look like he was giving much sympathy. When he came out, he went directly back to the testing room. He doesn't even jump anymore, nothing scares him. He just stands there like he's talking to someone. Sometimes he rocks from side to side. We were told to leave him alone. I knew I was in line to do the testing next. They'd been prepping me for it. I guess they knew that Jeremy would need to be replaced soon.
But how do we know that Vanessa was Silver Parcel Studios' cybersecurity? Well, by looking at the security logs, something strange has occurred. If we are to believe that these are Fazebear's entertainment security logs, then their employees, JB and AL, should work for them. I mean, Vanessa is here, right? So this must be from Fazebear. But once you look at the Fazebear employees list, none of them has the initials JB and AL. So that's strange. Who are these guys? Well, here is the clever thing about all of this. The security incident logs doesn't specifically mention that this is from Fazebear's entertainment. But if we are to believe that Vanessa worked at Silver Parcel Studios, then JB could belong to Jeremy, the beta tester, the one that cut off his own face. And really, Steelwool, Jeremy, the beta tester, JB, you're hilarious. But who is AL? Well, we can confirm a total of 4 people that works at Silver Parcel Studios: Jeremy, Vanessa, Dave, and the manager whose name was never given. So by the process of elimination, AL belongs to their manager. So there you have it. These are not Fazebear's entertainment logs, these are Silver Parcel Studios logs. But that's not all. By paying attention closely, we can tell that these security logs tells a story. And while I can't 100% tell what's going on here, we can make a guess. Jeremy tries to upload a data packet containing a virus, but Vanessa rejected it. Then the manager account got locked out due to many failed attempts. Jeremy gets locked out due to many failed attempts as well, but if he has access to his computer, he can just change the password and he would be fine. Then Jeremy removed a virus from a device. Then the manager account was locked out due to many failed attempts again. Then Vanessa received a data packet containing a virus on her account logs, which was overwritten. And then Jeremy failed to log onto his account once again. So what I believe had happened here was that Jeremy, who was following the orders of the virus, tried to send a data packet containing it to their systems, but Vanessa stopped him because she's good at her job. Jeremy then tried to access the manager's account to try and override it, but then there was too many failed attempts, so he couldn't do it. The virus, pissed off, seems to have taken over Jeremy's body so he can do it himself.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
But forgot to ask Jeremy for his account login information. I don't know. No big deal, he can just change the password on Jeremy's emails since he has access to it. Jeremy decides to scan and remove a virus from a device. Once again, tries to gain access to the manager's account, but failed. The virus uploads itself in Vanessa's account logs that she made for the virtual reality game system. And Jeremy, who was under the control of the virus for 7 days, wait, 7 days? Damn. Is now free from the virus control, but not before the virus does one last thing to Jeremy, cutting off its own face while it was in control of his body, before entering Vanessa's account logs. Once again, that's all speculation, but if there's one thing we do learn from this, is that when Vanessa said it attached itself to her logs, this is what she was talking about. This is what she was looking at when she said that. And if that is true, then all of the emails, more specifically the story-related emails that we have been reading up until now, has all belonged to Vanessa. These emails aren't just random different emails from different employees that we accidentally received, it's from Vanessa. This is why we don't see any of her replies from these emails, because we are watching it from the receiving end. This is how she is aware of what's going on with the new game development company, and knows certain names of the people involved with the development team, because every trouble and progress they make, she's reading them, just like us. So one thing is clear, this virus needs to be sent back to the virtual reality game to be taken down. But how? Vanessa is Fazebear's cybersecurity, not Fazebear's IT department. How did she pull this off? Well, we get another clue from Vanessa's emails. Attention! The office kitchen is a shared resource and it is everyone's responsibility to keep it clean. If you only use the coffee maker, you are still using the kitchen, and you are still responsible for helping to keep it clean. Todd and Cheryl are kind enough to clean our common areas as part of their weekly duties. They are not responsible for cleaning up your personal mess. 1. Wash your dishes. This includes coffee spoons. 2. The drying rack is not a storage rack. When your items are dry, please put them away in the cabinets or take them to your desk. 3. Label your food. If you do not label your food, you lose the right to complain when somebody takes it. 4. Don't take food that isn't yours, even if it isn't labeled. We live in a civil society. 5. If you take the last cup of coffee, make a new pot. If there is less than 1 cup of coffee left after you take your cup of coffee, make a new pot. If we all adhere to these simple rules, the kitchen will be a more pleasant place for all of us. Now, while this doesn't seem much, just looks like a company telling their employees to clean up after themselves, there are clues here. First clue is Todd and Cheryl. They seem important, so let's go find them. And we learn, thanks to Fazebear Entertainment's third floor birthday list, is that both Todd and Cheryl both work on the same floor along with Vanessa. And who else works on the 3rd floor? Lewis from the IT department. This means that despite being in a different position, Vanessa works on the same floor as the IT department. But we can assume Fazebear won't just let anyone walk in there. No, there needs to be some type of security, like maybe a security key. We learned from Vanessa's emails that Vanessa and Lewis did eventually get coffee. You know, the same coffee that the last email was complaining about employees not refilling. Hey Ness, it was really great talking to you today. I think that might be the first time we actually had an in-person conversation. LOL. It's weird. I feel like I know you so well, but I guess you don't know so much about me. We're just going to have to fix that. I had no idea you were into IT stuff. I always think my job sounds so boring, but you were so interested in it, it made me start thinking, hey, maybe IT is cool after all, or maybe you're just a good listener. Anyway, it was nice to have some in-person time. Maybe we can do it again soon. I still owe you for that cup of coffee I keep saying we should get, Lewis. After learning all of the protocols from IT stuff from Lewis, the only thing she needs is the security card. And we learned from the attention emails that sometimes employees leave their stuff on the drying rack, and that getting your things stolen or accidentally taken is quite common in this kitchen. Basically, Vanessa stole Lewis' security card while they was on break. She now has what she needs to trick the gaming company into giving access to their systems, and to find a way to stop this virus once and for all. And Vanessa, I know you're trying to save the world here, but that still gives you no excuse not to refill the coffee machine after you're the last one to use it. I don't care if it was for Lewis or yourself, rules are rules, and we live in a civilized society. Vanessa, aka Tape Girl, was able to get back into the virtual reality game system and try to put a stop to this monster once and for all. She knows where he's hiding, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to delete the tapes, but she was able to do something else.
I can't delete them. By creating a protected area to store these logs apart from the game, I effectively gave this thing a safe place to hide itself. It's in here now. I may not be able to delete it, but I might be able to do something else now that it's attached itself. I have an idea. I ran a fragmentation program on the area of memory that was storing these logs for you. I effectively broke the files into pieces and broke the anomaly along with it. That means that you won't have my warnings to guide you, but hopefully it also means that this anomaly, this virus, or whatever it is, will remain broken and unable to do more damage.
This program allowed her to basically break the tapes that Glitchtrap was hiding in into 16 parts, meaning that the virus, while still in their systems, is effectively powerless and invisible to the gaming company, and the emails prove that Vanessa was successful. All well that ends well, right? Well, no. Fazebear, believing everything to be fine now, still wants to release this game. Seriously, Fazebear? Seriously? And have decided to get a beta tester to test this game out. And that's you, or Client 46.
Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. Fazbear Entertainment is excited to join the digital age, and what better way to do that than with an edge-of-your-seat virtual reality experience. We know that Fazbear Entertainment has developed something of a bad reputation over the last few decades, and while it's true that some stories associated with our name were loosely based on actual events, the majority of them were total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic, lawsuits pending. But we aren't above laughing at ourselves. Ha ha ha. That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies that you've been fed over the last several years, into a hilarious VR game, in the hopes that we can finally move past these childish ghost stories and develop a new relationship with you, as well as your kids. Don't forget the merch, perfect for birthdays. So sit back and enjoy a few scares. We do, however, ask that you agree to a simple waiver before you play. It's mostly just legal mumbo-jumbo and isn't at all based on user experiences thus far or injuries associated with testing. Just touch the button to agree, and then we can jump right into some harmless fun that can't harm you at all in any harmful way. Thank you for playing the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience. You acknowledge that Fazebear Entertainment is not responsible for accidental digital consciousness transference, real-world manifestations of digital characters, nightmares, night terrors, night sweats.
By using the defragmentation program, Vanessa's logs has been put out of order, meaning she can't warn the player character about this evil properly.
Hello. You don't know me. I had created a series of logs for you documenting the troubled development of this VR game that you're now testing, in hopes that you, whoever you are, and whatever team you are with, will abandon development. Now I fear that those logs are being used as a Trojan horse. If you are unable to abandon development, hide all traces of these logs that I've created. I fear that finding them and reassembling them will also reassemble the very thing I've tried so desperately to destroy.
Now, unfortunately for Vanessa, trying to warn the beta tester about this virus was never really going to work. As a gamer, or even as a completionist gamer, it's our job to uncover every single secret there is in a game. Telling us not to assemble the tapes is like a challenge for us. Of course, Vanessa wouldn't really know that because she's not a gamer herself. Also, the beta tester probably believes that this is all part of the game. I mean, look at the type of game that we're playing. It's a scary game. Telling us that there's something even scarier in here is like saying, hey, there's more content for you to play. Think, Vanessa, think. Although, to be fair, we should have realized something was off since collecting the tapes is not part of the trophy collectibles. It's almost as if to say, this new video game company was completely unaware of these tapes being in their game and was not part of the actual experience. Now, throughout this entire adventure, we are led to believe that there is no way for Vanessa to get rid of this thing permanently. The defragmentation program was her only option. So why is it that out of nowhere, she just basically has the answers to kill this thing? Because this is not Vanessa. This virus, before being split apart, made one change to one of her tape logs.
There is a way to kill it. It wants to escape through someone plugged into this game. That's you now. You have to let it begin the process of leaving through you. Then use the disconnect switch that I've embedded by the main stage. Let it approach you. Let it begin to merge with you. Play the music and flip the switch. That will cause a hard restart of the game and flush the memory, effectively killing it. I hope. I don't know when it will come for you.
Unfortunately, you reassemble the tapes Vanessa worked so hard to break apart, allowing this virus, this anomaly, this Glitchtrap to return. After some time, an unknown user has just gained access to their systems. At first they believe it to be the virus, but learn that the virus is 100% gone. Somebody else is trying to hack into their systems, and they removed all of the safety features from all of the active animatronics. They are quick to blame Vanessa, as it seems to be coming from her account. So basically what just happened here is that Glitchtrap has returned, and now he is inside the body of a beta tester and is hacking both the virtual reality game systems and Fazebear's entertainment systems using Vanessa's account. He essentially went from becoming a virus to a hacker now. And it's right here that Glitchtrap proves that he is the ultimate chess player, because everything that has happened from this very beginning was all part of his plan. Okay, so what's the point of being inside of another person's body? Why did Glitchtrap decide to go from being a virus to now becoming a hacker? Well, because he knows the limitations of what he is, and he needed to evolve. Let me ask you guys a question. What is more harder to deal with, a virus or a hacker? While viruses are a pain in the ass to deal with, in this day and age, they will still be noticed once they enter your systems. If someone chooses to wipe a system clean, the virus would be taken care of. But obviously, if there's anything on the system you don't want to be deleted, you would basically just find a way to kill the virus. But a hacker is much more complicated. They're not in your systems. They're basically taking control from a remote location. And unlike viruses, you wouldn't know if your systems are being hacked or not unless they do something major. But there are still some limitations to being a hacker, as you would have to locate and find the weaknesses of a system for them to hack into it, which, thanks to Vanessa, who made a Fazebear IT account, Glitchtrap now has access to. This means that every action, every decision was all part of Glitchtrap's plan. Glitchtrap knew if Jeremy started acting weird, then Silver Parcel Studios would let Vanessa, their cybersecurity, take over to replace him. Glitchtrap knew that by killing Jeremy, Silver Parcel Studios would try to sue Fazebear Entertainment, and Fazebear Entertainment would buy them out in return. Glitchtrap knew that by attaching itself to Vanessa's logs, she would take it with her to Fazebear Entertainment. He knew that by scaring Vanessa to a point, she would be forced to steal the security key to Fazebear's IT department, creating an account so she can send him back to the virtual reality game. He knew Vanessa would split him up into pieces, making him effectively invisible to the new video game company. He knew that Fazebear Entertainment would still release this game and get a beta tester to test it out. And by changing one log, he knew the beta tester would actively seek out the logs and obey its orders, allowing it to take over their body. And now, with the body of the beta tester and access to Vanessa's Fazebear's IT department account, Glitchtrap effectively has full control over Fazebear Entertainment systems. Glitchtrap has just proven himself to be the most smartest villain in the entire Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Sorry, William Afton, I think you've just been dethroned. Vanessa has been outplayed, and now with access to her account, everything bad Glitchtrap does with it, Vanessa will now be blamed for it. Added to the fact that Glitchtrap has made an innocent person a literal prisoner of its own mind, and clearly not its first victim, things aren't looking too good. And I wish I can tell you guys things are going to get better, but it's actually going to get a whole lot worse. But that's it for now. Part 2 will be coming. And if you guys want to see what happens next, please like and subscribe and let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And remember,
there is more going on here than you realize.